Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another Versus Night. Tonight, I will be comparing Air Force One from 1996 versus Con Air from 1997. Alright, so let's get started with the leads. Air Force One stars Harrison Ford and Gary Oldman. Con Air stars Nicolas Cage and John Cusack. All right, so Air Force One, wow. I mean, you got Harrison Ford playing the President of the United States.
Real peace is not just the absence of conflict, it's the presence of justice.
We did discuss it, Jack.
We discussed it in private, which is where I thought it would remain.
Well, now it's public.
And then you have Gary Oldman playing the badass hijacker who's taken over the plane and is holding the president's family hostage to get what he wants. That is pretty damn good. In comparison, though, Con Air, you have Nicolas Cage, weird accent that he's doing and all, with a long hair, but it's fake long hair. He didn't really grow his hair out for the film. He's got extensions on for it. His character is pretty badass, though, in the story, though. And then you have John Cusack playing the agent who's trying to get to the plane that has been taken over by the criminals that Nicolas Cage is on, and he's fighting them from within. John Cusack's fighting them from the outside, trying to stop them alongside him. It's a interesting bit of cast there. And as much as I like those two, I do not think they're as strong a duo as Harrison Ford and Gary Oldman are. So this one I am going to give to Air Force One. All right, so let's look at supporting. Supporting cast in Air Force One includes Glenn Close, Wendy Crewson, Leslie Matthews, William H. Macy, Dean Stockwell, Andrew DeVoff, Xander Berkeley, Tom Everett, and Jurgen Prochnow. The supporting cast on Con Air consists of John Malkovich, Steve Buscemi, Ving Rhames, Colm Meaney, Michael T. Williamson, Rachel Ticotin, Monica Potter, Danny Trejo, and Nick Chinlund. All right, so let's look at Air Force One for the start. Glenn Close is really good in her portrayal, as she always is. I mean, fine actress, and she plays her role really well in Air Force One. William H. Macy is really good in his role as well, as is Dean Stockwell. Then you have, on the villain side, helping Gary Oldman, you have Andrew DeVoff, and you have Xander Berkeley, who is the undercover guy who is working with Gary Oldman's terrorists. He's the one that helps them get on the plane, actually. So, dirty Secret Service agent guy working with the bad guys. And then there's Jurgen Prochnow playing the man that Gary Oldman is working to get freed. It's an interesting supporting cast. It really is. And in comparison, on Con Air, you have John Malkovich as Cyrus the Virus. Oh my God, what a performance this is. He is having so much fun playing this character. And then you have Steve Buscemi, another great actor who is just really enjoying playing. And as it turns out, he's not, even though he is portrayed as being one of the worst out of them, when they escape, he doesn't do anything that really shows that he's as bad as they're portraying him as. That was a twist to do that with Buscemi's character after they portrayed him as such a total psycho killer and everything in there. Ving Rhames is great in his role, working alongside John Malkovich. He truly is. He's basically the second in command to Cyrus in this film. Colm Meaney is the partner to John Cusack's character, and he's really good in here too, as always. Michael T. Williamson is a friend to Nicolas Cage's character on the flight that ends up getting injured in there. He's always strong in any role he plays. Rachel Ticotin is beautiful as this officer that's working on the plane when the hijack takes place and everything. Monica Potter plays Nicolas Cage's girlfriend or wife or whatever the hell she's supposed to be, but she doesn't get that much time to shine. You get to see her at the opening when we see why Nicolas Cage got arrested and put in jail to begin with, and then we see a resurgence for her character later on at the end of the film, but she doesn't get too much time in the film. Danny Trejo is another one of the bad guys working alongside John Malkovich, and as usual, Danny Trejo is awesome. And Nick Chunlin, who is highly underrated as a great villain actor, is really good in his character that he's playing, working alongside John Malkovich as well. So with this one, even though you have great actors like Glenn Close and William H. Macy and the like on the side of Air Force One, I think the supporting cast in Con Air is better. So I'm going to give this one to Con Air. All right, now let's move on to story. So the story for Air Force One is terrorists take over the president's plane, Air Force One, in order to get a dictator, played by Jürgen Prochnow, as I said before, released. And then the plot of Con Air is prisoners take over a prison plane, and it is up to an unlikely person that is on that plane, which Nicolas Cage plays, to stop them. They are both really interesting films that, they both take place on a plane where it's being hijacked or taken over. And they're both big-ass planes. So they're really a lot alike in some ways, but Air Force One is portrayed much more serious and everything, and whereas Con Air is portrayed as more comical and fun. Even though it is a serious action film, it has those comical moments in it. Whereas Air Force One doesn't have a lot of that in it. It is more just a serious film. So it really depends on what kind of film you want as your experience watching it to decide which one of these stories is the better one. So I'm going to make this one a tie because they are both great completely in their own respects. And it just depends on your mood. If you are in for a serious film, you'd watch Air Force One. If you're wanting a more fun, exciting action romp, you'd watch Con Air. All right, now let's move on to direction and see if we can get a clear-cut winner out of these two. Air Force One is directed by Wolfgang Peterson. Con Air is directed by Simon West. Now, visual style of Wolfgang Peterson is incredible. I just love how he shoots his films. I'm a big fan of his Clint Eastwood movie, In the Line of Fire. That ended up being the #1 film on my Clint Eastwood action films. So this is no different. I mean, he shoots this thing. He is great at directing this film. And it's pretty close with In the Line of Fire as being just as great a film. Just because of the way he directs Harrison Ford in his performance and Gary Oldman in his performance and everyone on the ground that are trying to figure out what's going on, like Glenn Close and Dean Stockwell and everything. Those on the plane, everything is well directed, well put together. Very good film and well shot. Simon West is more of a action kind of a director, but it's a different visual style than Wolfgang Peterson. So it's exciting, his directorial style, but I don't think it is up to par with Wolfgang. So I'm going to give this one to Air Force One. For the win with 3-2 for Air Force One. But what do you guys think of these two films? Do you agree with my picks as far as why I think Air Force One is the better out of the two? Let me know in those comments down below what you think is the better film out of these two. And as usual, if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified about future videos. And while you're by the subscribe button, click that join button and become a Dark Knight fan. All right. Hope you have enjoyed this versus night, and I hope you will join me tomorrow for another horror movie night. Thanks for watching.